Well, welcome back to Dakota News Now. It's 6:48 this Wednesday morning, and it's time for another edition of Wild Wednesday, where we learn about an animal from the Great Plains Zoo.
Yeah, today we meet Griffin the Hedgehog and education specialist Allison Golden join us. Good morning, Allison. Griffin is about ready for bed because he's up all night, right?
He is, yeah. Hedgehogs are all nocturnal, so he is just about getting ready to go back to sleep after being awake all night. Yeah.
Oh. Can you tell us a little bit about hedgehogs, what family they're in, that sort of thing?
Yes, yeah. So a lot of people expect them to be related to rodents or in that family, but they are much more closely related to shrews and that kind of family.
Trying to bury his head.
He is trying to bury it, yeah. He's trying to go back to sleep, build a little nest for himself. So you'll see he has a really long nose, and that's very typical of the shrew family. And so that's what he uses for his exploring his entire environment. He has a really great sense of smell, not the best eyesight, so he's kind of relying on that nose and trying to dig to make a little nest for himself. He's going all over the place today.
And you said some people have hedgehogs as pets.
They can, yeah. So it really depends on each state. Each state has their own laws if you can have them or not. South Dakota is one where you can have a hedgehog, and that was the story for Griffin too. So he came to us from a humane society. So he was someone's pet, and then they turned him over because they couldn't take care of him anymore. So that is definitely a very common theme for hedgehogs, and being involved in the pet trade is one of the biggest threats to them if they ever get taken out of the wild to be a pet.
And what kind of special needs or what kind of care instructions come with them? Because I know it's pretty intense.
They are, yes. Yeah, they're a pretty unique animal, so they do need sometimes extra heat sources since they usually live in a really warmer climate, and they do need a special diet too. So they eat a lot of bugs in the wild, and so at the zoo he does get some mealworms, but he also eats wet cat food and then some fruits and vegetables and other just special hedgehog foods.
Probably why he got turned in, a little bit too much maintenance.
Exactly,
for as a pet.
yeah.
It almost looks like a small porcupine too. I mean,
almost.
Does it have sharp his quills or not his quills, his fur?
Yeah, so we call them spikes for hedgehogs, though they are pretty similar to what a porcupine would be like, but hedgehogs cannot release their quills like a porcupine can. So they always stay inside their body, but each spike is pretty sharp. And so we usually say they're each one is a tiny toothpick, and each hedgehog has about 3,000 to 5,000 spikes covering their entire back. But they are the best defense that a hedgehog uses, for sure.
And this little guy is a part of your education program, so his job is to kind of educate people about hedgehogs.
Exactly, yeah. So he comes out on a lot of our Zoomobile programs. He does a lot of those, but he also usually makes an appearance at our Zoo Cubs classes, which we have those coming up in October. So those are our preschool classes that we have at the zoo.
So now school's starting, if they want to get a hold of you, and do they just request an animal like this?
Yeah, we can take requests sometimes. We can't always guarantee just based on the individual animals, how they feel like if they're going to participate or not. But yes, we're doing a lot of schools for Zoomobiles coming up soon. Yeah.
He doesn't sit still since we
No,
sat
he does
down.
not. He's always on the move, especially this time of day when he's trying to bury himself so he can go back to sleep.
He's ready to go back to bed.
Well, Griffin, you go back to bed here. Allison, thanks for coming in this morning.
Of course, thanks for having us.
Awesome, thank you.